Wow, hi YouTube. Most people that follow my site know that I've been doing some screen tests, and there's a couple of production companies that are interested. I've had a screen test with the BBC. Tomorrow I've got national German TV, so I guess it's their equivalent of the BBC in the UK. And it seems quite odd that Germany, Europe are picking this up, whereas the UK are a bit slow. But then maybe that's us as a race. We're not always on the cutting edge of whatever's going on. It may just be something as simple as life in Europe's a little bit tougher than it is here. So we all know about Greece and Athens. I watched something on the news the other night. This guy was a pharmacist, been working for the same company for the last 8 years, highly qualified, university graduate. He gets laid off, and he can't find a job doing anything. Got a family to support, and there he is sitting in a food queue, waiting to pick up a food parcel to take home to his family. So that's how bad it is in Athens. Anyway, they're coming tomorrow and they'll be here at 10 o'clock, and I'm hoping to do a little bit of filming. What I want to do is set a camera up and film them filming me, and then I'll share it with you good selves. Anybody that wants to accompany me on the journey wherever this goes, you're more than welcome. A very big heartfelt thank you to everyone that's subscribed or checked in and watched my videos. If you've been entertained and if you found them of interest, that blows me away. I'm quite humbled by some of the comments that I get. As you know, I've got the Land Rover and the trailer, and I try to carry 3 months provisions and stores split between the two of them. So if I have to ditch the trailer, a wheel falls off, an axle snaps, it's beyond repair, I dump it, I'm losing 6 weeks supplies. I'm not losing absolutely everything. The other thing is that I try to run the Land Rover fairly empty in the back, bar the vault and a couple of bags in there. Predominantly it's empty. So the worst possible for me is I unload the most essential stores out of the trailer, put them in the truck, and then we ply. I spent a little bit of money with Mountain House, and our national sort of distribution network here is a company called emergencyfoodstorage.co.uk. Got in touch with them, and I've bought 12 months worth of Mountain House dehydrated and dried foods. Really picked it up over a period of time. Last 3 months of it all turned up yesterday, in fact. So put it on the shelving, and there it is. It's got a great kind of menu. It's got breakfast and a kind of dessert packs, and then of course you've got your main meal. And what you're looking at on the top shelf there is a year's supply of food for one person. So that is really our absolute fallback, fail-safe position, and I've gone with the Mountain House. Are top notch. Everybody's familiar with Mountain House. They're a really great company, and shelf life for this product's 25 years. Don't get any better than that. I've also stocked up on these. This is chicken, vegetable and black bean sauce. Again, it's dehydrated, dried, and they make these sort of breakfast packs. This is just toasted muesli, but again, completely vacuum packed and good as gold. What you can do is literally sort of zip the packet open, put the water in it, and eat out the packet. All you need is a spoon. So I've invested in I think I've got about 40 of these and about 20 of these breakfast cereals. The other thing that I've done is, really, I think if I end up living on Mountain House, so something happens and what we're going to do is bug in, we're all going to stay where we are, no one's going to work, no one's living out of the house. Hopefully we've got a viable water source. You know, I store 1,000 litres of drinking water on my property, along with 1,000 litres of diesel fuel oil. Thing about water is there is nothing more important in your preps than a viable water source. So if if the electricity goes off, the water and the sewerage isn't going to be far behind it. So if you've got a position in place, you know, good luck to you. If you haven't, move it up your list of priorities, because without a viable water source, you and your family are dead. What I've gone for in my bug out bag, I've gone for these, you know. So the Frontier emergency water filter, it's good for 75 litres or 20 gallons, and you would literally just have this in your pocket. The little tube comes out, fits into the water filter, and you just suck it up like a straw, you know. But got a few of those on the shelves. This is a Aquamira Frontier Pro, but this is a new one. This is one for military use. You know, the days of the military being dropped in the middle of nowhere with like jerry cans and water is I think it's pretty much long gone. Now what they're doing is they're giving them the technology to find a water source and purify it for themselves. So literally, I think what they're landing on the ground with is about 24 hours worth of water. Thereafter, they're going to have to find a water source, and they're going to use things like this. So this is the Aquamira Pro, good for 50 gallons, 189 litres. It's an inline filter, goes into the drinking tube of your water bladder that goes in your Bergen. If you look at my 72-hour bag, my sort of bug out bag for 2012, I think I called it, I've got my 2-litre water bladder, and I've got one of these in the lid of the Bergen, but I've got a spare one on the shelf. You know, it's a bit of kit that I've just been blown away by, and I'm so pleased that I managed to lay my hands on it. Very simply, it looks like a jerry can. You know, it's it's called a Lifesaver jerry can, made of sort of heavy duty armour plastic. I think you'd have to really go some to break it. And what it is a water filtration system. You know, so what you do is you fill it up from any water source you like. You just take the cap off, fill it up as you would any other jerry can, and then what you do here is you pump into the container air pressure. So what it does is it puts the fluid inside the container under pressure. On the other side there's a small tap, you know, and you've literally just got to open the tap. There's an arrow on the tap, and the water, because it's under pressure, comes out much like it would out of a tap. You don't have to pick this thing up and pour it or anything like that. You know, it is a great gadget. So this thing will work, you know, upside down, on its side, whatever position it's in. You turn the tap and the water comes out because it's in there under pressure. Now this Lifesaver jerry can purify for you pretty much from any water source that you could stumble across. You know, so rivers, lakes, ditches, you know, streams, muddy pools of water, whatever you can get it in here, and this jerry can will purify for you 10,000 litres of water. 10,000 litres of water before you will need to replace the filter in it. It's an absolute one-stop shop. You know, you are not going to have any problems at all with a viable water source if you've got one of these Lifesaver jerry cans. And like I say, I got mine from emergencyfoodstorage.co.uk, and they were brilliant. Had it in stock, had it out to me within 48 hours. I was blown away by the service. Simple as that. It's a great bit of kit. You know, if you can stretch the budget, mate, this is what you need to spend your money on. Without a viable water source, you're dead.